Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 776, and today's topic is in continuation of antibiotics and its classification part 3. So as you know that I am discussing penicillin, different derivatives, and that is your beta-lactam group, which is condensed with a 5-member sulfur containing ring, and where R is substituted here, it is shown here. This is your penicillin nucleus, and this is your beta-lactam 4-member ring with nitrogen and 5-member with sulfur, and here R is main where different functional groups are substituted. So I have already discussed up to number 7 in previous 2 lectures, and here I am going to give some other penicillin group of antibiotics, and they are widely used. And you know, the whole antibiotic chapter is classification, either it is synthetic, semi-synthetic, or it is isolated. So here this group of penicillin, that is beta lactam, and this one is again subdivided into 2 groups. In one group where it is penicillin, this 5-member ring with sulfur, and the other cephalin where it will be 6-member ring. Only these 2 subgrouping is there in this beta lactam. And then the second grouping we will be going for, that is your aminoglycosides antibiotics. So let me finish these ones. So number 8 is, that is R. R means this is R, and this is substituted here, and then their chemical name and their generic name. So once this group is substituted here, this is your aromatic ring, 6-member, and this is your 5-member ring, and this 5-member ring is containing nitrogen and oxygen. Sometimes here it is methyl group, sometimes here it is in that aromatic ring either chlorine is substituted, fluorine is substituted. On the basis of those substitutions, their names are given, chemical names and generic names. So here the first number 8 is where this grouping is there in R, where it is linked here. Then it is called 5-methyl. It is at position 5. There is methyl group. That's why it is called 5-methyl 3-phenyl. And at position 3 there is phenyl group, and 4 isoxazoline penicillin, and this is the chemical name, and its generic name is oxacillin. So oxacillin is very well known antibiotics. And number 9, where this same grouping is there, and where the only difference is that in 8.1 that only one chlorine is substituted to 2 position of benzene. It is position 2, and then it is called 5-methyl. At 5 position there is methyl group, and then it is given 3, then 2 chlorophenyl, means at phenyl group there is chlorine at position 2, and then 4 isoxazoline penicillin, and its generic name is chlorhexacillin, means chlorine is substituted in phenyl group, aromatic ring. Then number 10. Number 10 is here, at 2 and 6. 2 and 6, and it is 5. So it is 5-methyl 3,2,6-dichloro. At 2 and 6, 2 chlorine is there, so 2,6-dichlorophenyl, and then 4 isoxazoline penicillin, and its name is dichlorhexacillin. Dichlorhexacillin means there are 2 chlorine substituents. Then number 11. In the case of number 11, they are all same. The only difference is that in your phenyl group aromatic ring, at 2 position there is chlorine, and at 6 position there is fluorine. So it will be 2 chloro 6 fluoro. So here it is, you can say chlorine. So it's 2 position, it is 6 position, and it is 5. So 5 methyl, 3 2 chloro, 6 fluorophenyl, 4 isoxazolyl penicillin, and its name is chlorofluorooxacillin. And then number 12, that is where in phenyl group you have only amino group at this carbon position, and one phenyl group is there, and that is at para position. So the name is, the chemical name is D-alpha amino para hydroxy, because this is your para position. So at para there is hydroxy group, benzyl penicillin, and its name is carboxylene. So now next is 13, and 13 is where the aromatic ring is linked with carboxylic group, and it is known as alpha carboxy phenyl penicillin, and this is the chemical name, and its generic name is carboxylene. And number 14, where there is amino group attached to benzene ring, it is called D-alpha amino para-hydroxy. That is, para-hydroxy means at this position there is hydroxy group, benzyl penicillin, and this is very common antibiotic, is known as amoxicillin. And this amoxicillin is very widely used to treat different type of infections. And then number 15, where it is aliphatic ring, 6 member. So that's why it is cyclohexane, no more aromatic, which is linked with amino group, and it is called 1 amino cyclohexyl. It is cyclohexyl penicillin, and its name is, that is generic name is cyclacillin. And number 16, where sulfur is the part of 5-member ring, and in side chain there is carboxylic group, so it is called carboxy 3 thioenyl. Thi is for sulfur penicillin, and its generic name is ticacillin. So now under that beta-lactam group, so it was A and B. A was penicillin, that subgrouping, and B was cephalosporin. So in this case, the only difference is that in penicillin, the beta-lactam 4-member ring was there in both, but there the sulfur containing ring was 5-member, and here the sulfur containing ring is 6-member. This is the only difference, otherwise they are same. So here you see that with 4-member ring, and both are aliphatic ring, there is no aromaticity, and this sulfur is containing with 6-member aliphatic ring. The only difference is that in the penicillin and CFAM, and that is called 7 amino cephalosporinic acid, and here it is 6 member, and there in the case of penicillin it is 5 member. With the same, at 8th position is lactone ring, and at 5 and 1 there is sulfur and nitrogen. And here with at 7th position if there is amino group, and then at 4th position there is CO minus, they are polarized, and this is called 7 amino. This is 7th position, so it is called 7 amino cephalosporinic acid, and it's very commonly known as in pharmaceutical industries, that is called 7-ACA. 7-ACA is its trade name. That is the structure of this, and once they combine together with this side chain, it is called cephalosporin C. So cephalosporin C is actually the antibiotics, and that is called beta-lactam group B, and it is important to mention. It is important to mention here that the cephalosporins are another class of beta-lactam antibiotics. So this is another class of beta-lactam. The only difference is in penicillin and this one is that only this ring, which is 5-membered in penicillin, it is 6-membered in this, and this 6-membered condensed with 4-membered nitrogen containing, the oxygen containing, is called CFAM, and CFAM is the main nucleus. So which have been isolated from cephalosporin species. Actually, it is isolated from plant source, and that plant source is called Cephalosporium species, or we can obtain it by semi-synthetic methods. And the most important one is called Cephalosporin C. This is Cephalosporin C. So this Cephalosporin C is the most common one out of all these beta-lactam antibiotics, which contains 6-member ring, which is closely related to penicillin. It contains dihydrothiazide ring. It is this one, and in place of thiazolidine. Means in place of 5-member, it contains 6-member, and then ring present in penicillin. The saturated bicyclic ring system with lactam carbonyl oxygen. With lactam carbonyl oxygen is this ring. Carbonyl oxygen present in the cephalosporins and is called, that lactam 4-member ring present with cephalosporin is called CFAM. CFAM is the main constituent, and others are all side chains. And the one and antibacterial activity of cephalosporin is less than penicillin. And nowadays, lot of semi-synthetic cephalosporin products are there, and they are actually antibacterial, and they are also resistant to enzyme action, because sometimes these enzymes, they deactivate the action of antibiotics, broad spectra, you can say narrow spectra. So lot of new synthetic derivatives are there of this cephalosporin, and here these side chains, they are all different. So synthetic ones are there and isolated ones are there, but most of the synthetic ones which are synthesized with the help of fermentation and substituted different side chains, they are not that much effective, but they are still producing, and the most effective one is that what I have given here in that group of beta-lactam antibiotics. So with this I will stop here, and my next lecture will be on